Good morning, evening, afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Link to the Past Randomizer Community Tournament of 2019. We have a race today between Bonta and Linlinlin in the winner's side of the Group Z mini bracket. I am Mentus Mane, joined this morning by Koi. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. This is a very exciting matchup. These are very, very, very good players. And I don't know what's going to happen.
Agreed. They both went 2-0 in their first round of the group stages. Bonta took game 1 over Linlinlin. I didn't actually catch the race, but I looked at the results. It was about a 5.5 minute win. Linlinlin chose not to change any settings for today, sticking to the tried and true 7-7 defeat Ganon seed.
I think it'd be really easy to just say, like, Bonta's pretty favored in this matchup, you know, taking first place overall in the qualifiers, have already won the first of their matches in this series. But I don't think it's actually quite that simple. Linlinlin did place in the second 32 of the qualifiers, but he is absolutely a top 32 player. Just Rando got a Rando and got dropped down to the second quartile. I'm sure you know something about that, Mentus, man.
Maybe a little bit. I do want to point out one interesting little quirk of the effect of this race is if Bonta wins today, he guarantees himself the first seed in the main bracket. If Linlinlin takes the win, then Bonta will be ranked below anyone who finished with a 100% win rate in groups. So while he's got 2 games to take the winner's bracket win here, a loss today does have some main bracket implications for him. And we are off with a map in the sanctuary. Yay!
We're a little desynced, I think.
Yeah, it'll be getting fixed up shortly. We do see that there are pendants at both Desert Palace and Tower of Hera, which is not an ideal way to see a map check, 30 seconds into a seed.
Bonta doing the Uncle Start. This is very interesting. I receive a lot of flack for how often I do the Uncle Start from better players, saying that it's a terrible strategy and you should never do it. But Bonta's better than everybody else, so does that mean it's actually good now?
As someone else who does the Uncle Start, I gotta just, assume it's the best. Also, nice crab drop of $20 and a Moon Pearl from the Uncle chest. So Linlinlin now set on money for Kakariko, 120 rupees. We'll have enough after buying bombs to both buy the bombs and get the bottle vendor item, no problem.
So the guards are in the variety prize pack, where I believe it's the 4th drop is an 8 bomb pack, maybe the 5th drop. But I don't know if Bonta's actually going to go farming guards to get this pack, though, especially when he's so close to just buying bombs right now.
Yeah, there's certainly merits to it. Like, if you wanted to do escape right away, you could probably farm up those 8 bombs, just use those to run an insta escape, but not likely to be worth your time, all things considered.
And we're just going to find bombs sitting in the mushroom spot. No rupees necessary.
But just in case, that 1 rupee in the thieves' hideout, he's not a very good thief, apparently.
Just caught him between jobs.
And Linlin getting the tier 2 tree pole, which is just hearts, not very valuable on that front. So now we go into the whirlwind of checks that always accompanies the early part of a seed. Kakariko's got 13 items here. If you get a bottle, you can add a 14th to it. They're the 2 checks south of the village.
Wake me when it's over.
But what about all the excitement, like from this heart container?
Oh my god, it's the fire rod.
Fire Rod's pretty cool. That's nice to get early, especially if you can
Bonta-
get a
Bonta
magic
might
reef.
skip it. We gotta be real careful here. Bonta might skip this fire rod, you guys. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, okay.
I love the fact that he almost missed that just for a moment.
Completely coincidental.
So yeah, the negative part of the early Kakariko stuff is that it's not going to be meaningful for the rest of the game, which is kind of what Koi here is getting at, and that everyone's going to get.
Yeah. Go into Kakariko. Like you can be like 99.9% sure that every single person in every single race will full clear Kakariko. So any time you spend here, even if you got no progression from it, doesn't feel like a loss.
And we get a glove out of the well, which is fantastic, but then we also find the cape, which is kind of worrisome.
I was just kidding, Mike. He wasn't going to skip the chest.
And we go to the chicken hut, where you just have to sit here and wait for the spawn to explode to go check a chest. You can chicken clip if you want to take a risk of, soft locking yourself, but hey. Also, we completely missed pointing out the flippers were on the bottle vendors, so they both got the ability to swim now, which takes away one potential sequence break that Moon Pro could have given Bonta that Linlinlin might have missed out on for a bit.
I don't know how to feel about these items.
Yeah, if we get a lamp, I'm going to be very much in the camp of it looks like an Agaseed with flippers, glove, the cape. You get the lamp and you just feel like, yeah, I'm going to Aga eventually.
I think there's definitely going to be progression in the escape, given our current items right now. Glove and Fire Rod will give you full access to all the items in escape.
And the Fire Rod being now in logic for the Dark Cross in the advanced item placement, which is what we run on this particular tournament. Also, shoutouts to the Quake medallion chilling in the library. If that's required for T-Rock or Misery Mire, which are likely crystals, then hey, you're going to get boots at some point. Yay!
Bonta doing the race game blind here will be a little bit of a time loss, because I imagine he doesn't care that much about this Arcanator. But if you go the whole way, you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, it's another extra 5 seconds. That's very rarely going to be a deciding factor in a rando race.
Well, for runners immediately going the back of escape here. Lynn not doing the dark room, despite getting the key there.
Yep, and those back two items were both garbage. We'll see if Bonta goes through the dark.
I'm sure Lynn would have done the dark room if he had done the Uncle route, because he'd have a little bit of magic to actually use the fire rod.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, good point. Wouldn't have been able to kill Keyrat.
Yeah, so this chest in Dark Cross right now is the only thing that the fire rod does for you at this time. It has no other purpose other than putting this chest in logic.
I like the waiting around for a moment just to make sure you don't miss that one fire rod shot and get yourself stuck.
Surprised he used his fire rod shot and not just throw a bomb. And then I realized he has no bombs. What happened, Bonta?
He missed the wall once. Mini Moldorm Cave complete on Linlinlin's side. 300 rupees putting him over the Zora threshold, but otherwise basically empty.
We assume Bonta is progressing through the dark room. No way to actually tell. I don't know if he. I don't even know if he got the chest. I have no idea.
I was gonna say we weren't on his audio, so we can't really tell for sure. I'm guessing he didn't leave without it. So he is now heading to the west here. Gonna go up to Death Mountain, maybe?
Yeah, I like this play a lot, honestly. Like, it's really only a time loss to do this if you happen to find the flute soon. To walk up to the old man. Now, going past the Lin, okay, I don't know what he's doing anymore. I thought he was going to go to the mountain. I don't know what's going on.
Getting that lumberjack check-in while you're in the area kind of makes sense. Linlinlin, meanwhile, going for the bold play of going to Agina right away.
Yeah, I like to think of early Agina as a more safety play. You don't come here thinking that this is totally going to be progression. You come here just in case there is progression. You don't want to get screwed by it.
Yeah, and it gives you that potential little bit of an edge if your opponent doesn't go this way and it turns out important. And the sword is pretty important.
It's pretty good. And Bonta's farming up rupees for Zora, it looks like.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, he's going to get to Mini Moldorm Cave and get the 300 rupees he needed, you know, just hanging out in the chest.
And now he's going up the mountain. Thank you. That's what I thought you were doing. So when you save the old man, it creates the save and quit point. So he'll just be able to save and quit to the mountain later when he needs to return. So it's really only a time loss to get this check if you find the flute, and could have just fluted up to the mountain instead.
And if you decide to go up to Spectacle Rock and you end up finding the mirror shortly after, that's a little bit of a time loss as well, but that's kind of the thing you have to do in Rando.
See, I don't think he's going to go past the old man, though. I think he just gets the old man and then saves and quits. Hey, find some nice bombs. It's good. He was out. And Bonta is apparently not doing anything that I think he's going to do. He's going up to Spectral Rock Cave. Okay, I disagree with this play, then. But we'll see. We'll see, Bonta.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily
it's not
huge
a bad
risk.
play.
The early mirror isn't super common.
Yeah, it's not like a bad play, like this totally can't be progression or something. And it is progression, of course.
Oh, we have a sword.
What the heck?
We have a sword, we got a lamp, we got a cape.
So the lamp being there does mean... The lamp being there does mean that the flute is going to be available before anything on the mountain.
Yeah, we'll either find it over here in Escape with Linlinlin, or we'll find it over at Sahasrara and Eastern Palace in a little bit. The seed has definitely moved up to the Screaming Aghanim stage, though. If they find a hookshot, I'll be pretty sold on that idea.
It's such an unusual play from Bonta to walk up to Spectral Rock Cave. I gotta think he's doing it like for the same reason like I was saying Lin would check Agina's cave. It's just a I sure hope this doesn't screw me kind of play, you know? Rather than it being a this is where the stuff is. Because he did that before right. Like Mini Moldorm Cave. Like we're talking about item density. Please.
And I guess it could be argued that, you know, it does give you a little bit of inclination of how important South Shore is likely to be early. You know, if you find that hammer up there, you might be able to route things nicely. That's a bow in Escape, though.
A nice handy bow, and for the same reason Dark Cross is in Logic, Armos will be in Logic as well if the big key is not in its vanilla chest.
Let's go. Flute on Armos to Lamp in Spectacle Rock. I believe in it. Also, Bonta is also making the play over to Agina, so that sword advantage for Linlinlin is evaporating very, very quickly.
I wonder how far through the seed he will keep up this routing, though. Because like you really can't just check every single out of the way location the entire game, you know. Like Lin may have weaker execution than Bonta, I don't know, but it's not that much weaker.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note, Rybek was in the setup room with us before the race, and he pointed out that, Bonta has won at least one of the Francophone tournaments, and Linlinlin tends to go far in them. So I feel like these two are probably relatively familiar with each other. So some of these plays that Bonta's doing may be directly countering Linlinlin more than just trying to route, something particular on his own.
Yeah, definitely possible. Hey, Ice Rod, how you doing? Just sitting there? Okay. We'll see you later.
Meanwhile, when the mire is on Laser Bridge,
I sure hope that's the case.
you go extra mean, mire on Laser Bridge, the Mire Medallion on Mimic Cave.
And there is our flute giving logical access to our lamp. So I think we might have an Agassi here.
Yeah, we're still only a hammer away from go mode, but it does seem very often when you get an item set very similar to this, it's kind of building up to that Aghanim and giving you access once you're done.
It is very, very tempting in this situation to just go straight to Aga. Like as soon as it's clear that Aga's in logic. And avoid going over to the eastern area because you really don't want to go to the eastern area. But because Lin has that bow, I think he will definitely be full clearing the eastern area before he ever even thinks about going to Aga.
Yeah, Bonta will be in a little bit weirder spot since he might end up if he does the eastern area before escape, or chooses to go to couple escape with Aghanim, he might end up finding that bow and just being like, you know what, I'm not saving and quitting walking to eastern, then saving and quitting walking back here. Just go.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation. So for Bonta, Aga's in logic right now, right? Like he can just go kill Aga, but he doesn't want to kill Aga because he just needs a hammer to avoid it altogether. And that might put him in a situation where he does go to Eastern Palace without the bow and avoid or looking for something that keeps him away from Aga, which might just end up forcing him to double dip something he wouldn't have otherwise.
And the bomb drops are really helping Bonta out. He was sitting at one bomb yet again, gets another 3, perfectly timed.
Oh, what are those?
Hey! So that's unfortunate for Linlinlin. He took that flute when activated it going over here to Eastern, which makes a lot of sense. But every second you got the boots, you're saving just a little bit of time if you know what you're doing with them.
Besides just the regular time saver from boots, they don't really do a whole lot right now. It's just 2 item checks, one of which we know is a... Wait, did we see that item? It was Quake on the library, right?
Yeah, so you can pick up Quake, which is useless to him at the moment, and do Bonk Rocks, and that's it. Oh, goodbye, Aga.
Oh, that might be bad for Bonta. It depends on how much he doesn't want to do Aga.
Yeah, he's definitely in that position where you could guess to go for it. It really all depends on what mindset he goes into escape with, or if he goes to Eastern before escape. If he does the latter, he might just miss out on that bow for a really long time.
It is super frustrating when you're in a situation where it's all right, fine, I'll just do Aga. Let me just check front of escape real quick. And then in front of escape, you find an item like the bow. And it's well, I was already set on doing Aga. Do I really want to leave?
Yeah, it's a very awkward decision, especially when you're in a 1 versus 1 with people that are very good and are going to be tough competition. Because, if you run over there and your opponent doesn't, then, hey, you just lost, a couple minutes worth of time. Yeah, you got to clear it anyway because it's a crystal, and the way Eastern is laid out, you're not losing anything, but you don't necessarily know you're not losing anything.
I do think, though, that given how Bonta's routed the game thus far, and we're still fairly early, but I can't see him doing the Aga gamble. I think he will make sure it's Aga before he does it.
I can agree with that. He has played very safe thus far. The time loss from guessing against it is probably a lot less than the time loss for doing Aghanim for no reason.
And using the damage brews from the Stalfos to actually get to that switch. Nice backup. Cost fewer hearts that way.
Yep, and this backup Eastern Darkroom with the Fire Rod is very straightforward, but you always want to guard against things going wrong if you aren't 100% sure.
So Bonta's go in front of Escape first.
Which is good for him, because if he got that Titan's Mitt opened up Dark World, he might have ended up putting Escape off for a very long time, and with the bow there, that would have been kind of bad.
Gosh, I don't know if he's going to leave to go to Eastern, though. Like, he should. You know, it's like Crystal Dungeon, you can full clear it and everything. But, like, how often do we have, like, Aga access to something behind the bow and pod, right? So, like, the bow may actually just solidify his decision to do Aga.
Yeah, you're very right on that. Also, a quick shout out to chat trying to come up with ways that Aga could be required. With the state of minor glitches, specifically the ability to boots water walk more than anything, there is nothing with the item set these two have that could force them to do Aghanim at this point. Okay, so we got the guard kill. Theoretically, we're going to get a save and quit out of here, but again, it depends on what you think your opponent is going to do. He's death warping.
He's setting up the death warp because he wants to do Aga, but then he finds this bow, and now what?
And he takes
he's gonna
the
do
death
Aga!
warp.
He's
Oh
doing...
no!
This is not good. All right, now
Okay,
he's okay. Well, I don't know what you're doing anymore, Bonta. Stop being confusing. Why didn't you just
he's just gonna flute to 5.
Why didn't you just?
No. Oh, he's turning in the bottle first.
All right, he's not doing Aga, you guys.
But yeah, with the save and quit weirdness right now, I think that was definitely faster to take that death to get back to the entrance and flute than a save and quit would have been.
Yeah, I guess it's definitely closer than it used to be. Are they gonna fix that, by the way? Because it's horrible.
Mire is Quake, and there is, I know, QWERTY has a fix together for it. It's not on the live site. He's got a beta site of it that is back to normal, but yeah, it hasn't hit the live branch yet.
Well, that's good news. For those that don't know what we're talking about, there was a fix for a potential game-breaking bug that they implemented recently that causes the save and quit menus to take 5 seconds longer than they used to. So every time you save and quit, it's a much bigger time loss than normal.
And interesting here, Linlinlin is diving Pendant Desert at the moment. No boots, so with this being a key on the torch, going to be locked out of a good chunk of the dungeon that would otherwise be accessible if he had gone to Zora first.
Coming to Desert in general does make a lot of sense given your items. Like Flute Mirror Mitts, right? You come over here, you start doing stuff. Just unfortunate he doesn't have those boots yet.
Yeah, gonna go check Checkerboard Cave as well, though, which is always a nice, easy check. And then probably head into the Dark World, which is unfortunate given Boots' place.
And I believe the medallion for Mire was that Quake medallion that Bonta picked up off the library. It's fairly good odds there's going to be something in there, and we may see a dive without the cane.
Oh, I also missed the Sahasrara check that told us that T-Rock is our green pendant. So naturally, the Ice Rod is easily accessible, and T-Rock is a pendant. Yay!
Does that mean there's something on green pendant?
Maybe there is.
No, there can't be something on green pendant, because then we wouldn't know where the Ice Rod was. It's that catch-22. Thanks, Rando. Lin headed
Rando
into
is an evil beast.
And Lin's actually going straight to the back with this fire rod. Taking hits from Ropas, though, on your way to 6 heart Mothula. Not ideal.
You got Blue Mail, you got the chance to heal up in that room with all the pits that we normally just skip right by.
Get another hit.
Big key, yay! Oh, and gonna backpack out and go to the front.
Okay. That's a little unusual, I'd say. Because like the play normally when you have the fire rod is to just go straight to Mothula, but I could see somebody not doing that on this low percent equipment. Very few hearts, not very strong equipment. But then why wouldn't you just do the front first? Why do you go to the middle first like that? No Keelan. Sorry.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been changing up how they route the dungeon because of the pinball room change. Although in practice, if you have as long as you go in that door and you pick up something that's not a key in that chest on the right of the big chest, there's going to be a key in the 3 other chests in here, and you can drop down like everyone used to do. Out of the way, we get that key in the big chest, can now just go left. Bonta has his first crystal, Armos defeated. Titan's mitts in hand, can now decide where he wants to go next.
Going to check Sahasrara real quick, and then I imagine he'll probably flute over to the Mire area just as Lin did.
And he's got the extra advantage of having those boots. He could do a little bit more checking in desert before he dips out of there if he wants.
Yeah, he'll be able to full clear desert. And he even has the medallion already, so he can even enter Mire.
Now there's a gamble I could not get behind whatsoever.
What, really? I'd definitely go into Mire. I wouldn't even think to. I'd probably go into Mire before I even stepped into desert.
Okay, Ice and Pod are our 5-6 crystals today. And like, if it were clearable, yeah, but forcing yourself into a double dip of Crystal Mire this early when you got so many other choices open, I don't know if I could get behind.
The double dip of Mire is not that bad. And I just think about it from like a logic reading perspective, right? Okay, so in the first few spheres of the game gave me a medallion, a sword, a flute, both gloves, a fire source, and the boots, and oh look, there's Mire. It seems really, really strong possibility that there's something in Mire, and it's probably the hammer if there is something.
See, I get where you're coming from. I'm a proponent of the idea that, you need these items to beat the seed anyway, so when they appear doesn't matter as much. So I think that's where our difference on the opinion of that gamble comes from.
But it's like all of them at once.
You do have a point there. We got a Mothula fight starting up here, which Mothula is an annoying fight just because of the weird interaction with the spikes, but Linlinlin handles it excellently.
Yeah, very nice fight. That Master Sword was very good thing to pick up as a much different fight with the Fighter Sword.
Yeah, it takes literally half as many hits, and with, you know, half your hits getting overridden by spikes anyway, it's probably a good thing. Oh, this desert layout is awful.
So to answer chat, why is Bonta dipping into Pendant Desert instead of like going to Crystal Dungeons like in full player? And the answer to that is because of the items he found so far. So he's making essentially the play that I was talking about before, where you find all these items. What do? Well, all of them together do this one thing. So let's go do that one thing, no matter how horrible it is.
Yeah, now he is not going to go get the other item from Landmo, which is, you know, not a major time commitment, but it's sizable. And in a tournament race, not something you want to risk for just a gamble, especially when you're a player of Bonta's caliber going against someone of Linlinlin's caliber.
Bonta's leaving. I mean, they're definitely not going into Mire then if he's fluting away. We'll see later. Eventually, somebody will go to Mire, and we'll find out if I have the God Vision or not.
I'll be jealous of your God Vision if that ends up being the major play.
I demand if the answer is Pendant Lamo though, I demand partial credit because I would go full clear desert as soon as Mire was empty.
I can agree to that.
I'd be doing Skullwoods at like 45 minutes in the sea.
You've already done all the hard stuff. You walk into Skullwoods, get that Master Sword. Well, crap. And that said, these two are on very similar paths. Linlinlin obviously didn't check Zora, didn't get the boots. That's where the difference comes from. Everything else, they have both done the same things as each other.
Now, it is worth noting that the boots haven't done anything yet. They haven't lit any progression as of this moment, but there are things that they could lock. For instance, boots are currently our only way into Mire. We haven't seen King's Tomb yet, I don't think.
And to be fair, boots did lock entrance into Mire.
Yeah, and then the boots also were logically required to get the item off Landmo, which we haven't seen. So they may end up being required, but they may also just be, you know, just a nice thing that he found.
So we're getting a check of our blacksmith friends. Nice and quick check. Little known fact, they do take 5 rupees from you. If you are completely broke, they're going to tell you no.
It's 10 rupees. They're even greedier than you thought, Bento.
My mistake on that. I was giving them too much credit because I think the smallest thing I've gotten off them was a 5 rupee, and was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, most people aren't even aware that they cost money, and then get really surprised, like, wait, well, how come they won't give me the item? This doesn't make sense.
I like dipping into Magic Bat there. You lose that mirror portal, but you've already got the purple chest. You're not going to Thieves Town right now. And you get that nice, easy check of the powder. See if maybe Eastern held a little bit more value.
Linlinlin immediately turned in the triple chest using that flute. And then I imagine go straight back to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, and we'll see how both of these two handle the Thieves Town debacle. You're early in the seed, you can obviously do most of Thieves Town, but you don't have Hammer. So if you do Thieves Town now, you might leave behind an item, and it might come back to bite you real hard later.
Yeah, it's weird, because like you don't want to do Thieves Town because you don't have the Hammer, but you want to do Thieves Town because it's dense. I think with the mirror, it's pretty safe to just do the first 4 at the very, very least. Like, I can't imagine either of them just trying to skip it entirely. But like going to the back is a pretty normal gamble to make because it is a crystal and there's not guaranteed to be something you need in that big chest.
Yeah, and it depends on the item layout too. Like we got the small key already. The most items you can get it from the front at this point is 2. So 50% of your items in the back, 3 locations, you know, maybe worth.
I think it's going to be a pretty easy call for both of them to leave after the first 4. Because, like, you got flute and mitts. Like, you can get back here real quick, like.
Very, very true. Bonta is heading over to do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, something that Linlinlin did not do. Obviously, with no boots, couldn't do King's Tomb, but didn't do Graveyard either. Ooh, one item in the front.
Did you see that mirror portal?
I did. That was
like, I've never seen somebody mirror that far south before. Hey, a sword.
Yeah, that pays off nicely. And that's a sword that Linlinlin could easily miss.
Yeah, I feel like he already made the decision to not do that location. Because at the typical time to check Graveyard Ledge and... Come on, Bonta. There you go. You distracted me. The typical time to check Graveyard Ledge and Bumper Cave is at Skull Woods, and Lynn already did Skull Woods and didn't go over there.
We got the bug net over here on King's Tomb, so that's not gonna matter at all. If you're a newer player, bug net is great because you can catch fairies. It's gonna help you survive. At the caliber of these two, you don't need the fairies, so it becomes a, you know, swag net. You can use it to kill Aghanim if you want to show off a little bit, but it has no actual value. And we definitely have an item locked in the Thieves Town big chest, so this could be a major thing in this race, depending on what's in there.
Bonta has played super safe so far. I really don't think he's going to continue through the dungeon like Lynn is.
Yeah, they're both unique gambles. I remember I played Fear Agent in round 1 of the group stage, and he mentioned that if he gets the small key in Thieves Town, he actually likes to go deeper more without the hammer, because with the small key, the chest in the attic and blind are both in logic. Without it, they're both locked behind the hammer. So, you know, when you get that small key, there is that little incentive to go deeper that you don't have when you don't find it. I do enjoy that little menu, like, I don't have hammer, right? Nope, okay.
I think he was checking to see if he had both map and compass yet.
That could be as well.
That's what I usually do with that situation. Counting items is hard, okay?
So we are getting a blind fight. For those unaware, blind is a scripted fight if you know what you're doing. Obviously, you can get off script sometimes and things go wrong, but Linlinlin doing very well. We find 3 bombs on blind. Hooray. Bonta did leave without doing blind, so he's going to be putting that off for later. Probably going to have the hammer when he comes back.
Or you think he'll go to Mire then? Where the hammer is?
I would bet on Pot before Mire, personally.
Pot is in logic, both through the flippers and through Aga 1.
Yeah, and then you got the bow to get to the right side. You got the lamp to get all the chests.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Pot's
definitely the most
good.
dense location. Or we're just both wrong and they go to Hype Cave and the hammer's there and, you know.
Dude, Hype Cave, okay. everybody says I'm wrong, but Hype Cave is the actual worst place for the hammer to be. I would rather it be in Ice Palace than in Hype Cave.
I can't give you that because Swamp is right next to Hype Cave, just as annoying to get to, but more annoying to get the one item out of.
Now, I find Hype Cave really frustrating for the hammer because just the way that I normally play the game involves a lot of like trying to predict what is happening randomly, right? Like following the logic, and you can't read Hype Cave. Hype Cave is literally just Dark World access.
That's fair. I can see where you're coming from on that, yeah. We get a big 20 on K45, and Bonta, following basically what Linlinlin did a little bit ago, gonna do Magic Bat, Flute to 7 to turn in that purple chest, and then carry on around the Dark World loop.
You know, speaking of Ice Palace, that's also a potential location for our hammer that I hadn't considered yet.
Yeah, they have a lot of places it could be, and it's one of the items that you both kind of hope is your go mode and also hate going without for so long.
Oh yeah, like Hammer Go mode seeds, they feel the worst, but they end up being the fastest. It's the weirdest thing.
It just locks so many things that it just railroads you to go mode so quick.
Alright, Lin, checking everybody's favorite cave.
A bloopy.
A lot more bloopies. And
okay.
I was hoping for the all money play.
That was a weak Hype Cave. Now the question is,
that's a 5 out of 10 because it didn't have the hammer.
Now the question is, you know, you're right down here. Swamp is really slow to get back to from the Thieves Town portal. Do you think, you know, maybe Bonta plays it super safe and mirrors over and checks the first chest of Swamp before moving on?
Nah, you don't do that here. I mean, you can do it here. It's not like it's the worst thing you can do, but I don't see Bonta checking Swamp.
Yeah, it's one of those stupid decisions that you have to make. Now, Linlinlin heading right over to East Dark World grabs the Ice Rod in case they need that green pendant later, and heading right up to Palace of Darkness. 5 items, all in logic. Very, very strong location. It's a crystal as well. Downside, of course, being with no hammer, they can't actually get that crystal. Also, I'm actually realizing that Linlinlin has not gone to Death Mountain yet, so doesn't have the lamp. So to him, this is actually, you know, a sequence break he's going for. But in reality, he just, you know, hasn't done one location yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lin started with that, you know, well, I don't want to go to Mire play, right? And then made the, you know, maybe there's nothing in the big chest play, and nothing seems to be working out yet, and is forced to go into a dungeon that he just can't full clear.
Yeah, Bonta's doing the gamble.
I cannot believe he's checking this. I've never seen somebody play this safely before. I wouldn't even do this, and I'm like super safe.
I do this pretty often. It's just so annoying to walk back to Swamp from the Thieves Town portal if it's here. And, you know, if you get the hammer here instead of last locationing it, with how many things they have open, how many potential double dips they have open, the time you save is insane.
Yeah, I typically only do this play like if it's one of the last things I have left, or if my only access to the Dark World is still the Aga portal. because then you have to go all the way around the world instead of just a quarter of the way.
Very true. The thing here, I think, is you could avoid a pod double dip and ice double dip, all with that hammer. But no, it's a piece of art. And nothing to do in pod so far.
Yeah, he'll go on and get that ice rod for sure. And then I imagine just do what Lynn's doing and just continue on into pod. Maybe check the pyramid first. I wish they would just go to Mire. It's like, it's totally Mire, you guys.
I don't know, I think pod is gonna have something. Like, they get a hook shot, they open up all of Light and Dark Death Mountain, including Hera.
Yeah,
that's a single item that would open up most of the world.
I think you're right. It's very, very likely that there's progression in pod, but that doesn't mean there can't also be progression in Mire, right?
That's true. There could be.
I guess, like, best case scenario, if the hammer is in Mire, that Lynn finds like the Canis of Maria in pod, because then that makes it a lot easier decision.
And I did miss one location in pod, so I'm not sure if there's a key in the vanilla big key chest or if we have an item there we just haven't seen yet. Oh yeah, chat pointing out as well that Linlinlin has not picked up the boots, and by extension, Quake. So Maya isn't even an option for him.
Right.
Oh, hey, Canis of Maria.
Nice, awesome.
Okay,
now
you know
Bonta can get his hammer in in Mire.
You know what? With that Canis of Maria, I'm 100% on board the Mire dive. Now you can full clear, just go wild, get it done.
You know, if the hammer is in Mire, then that means you had to double dip in one of these two dungeons.
That would just be rude.
I don't know, which one would you rather double dip? I'd rather double dip Mire.
Definitely pod, just because your path back to the boss when you come back is less backtracking. That was nothing of note. Probably the map.
So Lynn is probably going to be walking over to Pyramid and up to Catfish from here, mirroring and then doing the flipper checks. Or, never mind, just ignore me. I don't know what he's doing. Where are you going? Just tell me. Then I don't look stupid.
Okay, going to 3. This inclines me to believe he's going to go check the Graveyard Ledge and then go over to Catfish and mirror to check Zora area.
I see, we're orphaning Pyramid. That makes sense. Oh my god, we really are orphaning Pyramid. There's no way you can do Pyramid now. Yeah,
that would be a really awkward route to take.
Yeah, because he's going to do, like, Bumper Cave, Graveyard Ledge, swim over to Catfish, mirror, do flipper checks. When do you go to Pyramid?
You know, I just realized... Did Bonta even check Bumper Cave when he was doing Graveyard Ledge? I don't remember seeing it, really.
You know, I'm not sure.
Like, I think he did, but I'm not positive.
I'm sure he's
$50. That's probably why I forgot
it. Like, you have the cave. You checked it. Right? Alright, well, Bonta picks up his Canis of Maria, which is the only progression that we found in this dungeon.
Yeah, and he skipped getting one key, so he's going to do a hammer jump here. That's going to preserve the key he needs to get to Helmasaur in a little bit. Now, just like Linlinlin's initial sword advantage was wiped away instantly, Bonta's is taken away before it makes a single bit of difference.
Yeah, they haven't done anything since they found these swords, have they?
I mean, they killed Mothula, but they both had Master Sword by then.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, yeah,
They found
there's
separate
nothing
afterwards. Alright, so now he goes to Mire, right? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, with that cane, Myers just... It's the very
he has to
straightforward.
do it. It's a crystal dungeon he can afford, but you have to do that here.
I'm gonna laugh when it's Hammer on Catfish all along.
It's so admire.
At this point, you're probably right. I mean, what do we have left? We got a bit of Ice Pals. We've done almost all the overworld checks. We haven't touched Hera, which we have had access to for a while now. And there's that Landmo kill that everyone just kind of didn't do for various reasons.
Catfish Hammer would be pretty Monka-as for Bonta, though, because it's not so easy for him to get there.
Oh my lord!
Wow!
Yeah, that pays off big
This
time.
is so horrible for Bonta. Because he already did the flipper checks, right? He already did Graveyard Ledge. He has no way to like route in Catfish real quick. That's not a thing he can do.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Pyramid Ledge to check, but you would be hoping to check that with Pyramid Fairy when you do Pod and Ice Palace.
I mean, it's very, very likely we're going to see both Ice Palace and Pendant Hera before he goes to Catfish.
Yeah, that's very possible. That hammer is a huge, huge swing in Linlinlin's favor right now. And as it stands, Bonta's not wasting time. He needs to do Mire anyway. You're not going to get any faster than you are with a Tempered Sword and Bow for Mire. You're not losing anything by being here. It's just what he does after here could lose him a whole lot.
And it's very possible he just goes straight to Catfish. You know, maybe he recognizes how horrible it is if Catfish has the hammer, so he just goes there next.
I don't expect that to ever happen in this tournament, but yeah.
I mean, from Bonta's position, Catfish is probably the single worst place he can go as far as like efficient checks go.
Yeah, I mean, the bright side is that, you know, Hammer locks a lot. He's not going to be able to do a lot of things. So he's going to kill Viddy. He's probably going to dive Ice and Hera. But he's going to get locked out relatively quick before he can get to all the awful.
I can't believe it was Catfish, man.
All that talk about the logic, and it's just, oh yeah, it's chilling over on Catfish, who we had access to a long time ago. Bonta getting some spooky action at a distance to hit that switch. He's now going to fire a Fire Rod shot at this anti-parry, hit another switch, and finally fire one and a torch up here to hit a third switch. Because Ancilla are dumb, and this is the least dumb version of Ancilla.
Did he get both items?
I know I saw
or are we just gambling
one.
on the boss?
I think he might just be gambling on Viddy having found an item and the big key early, because I don't remember seeing both of them.
Just missing out on that zero cycle.
And it pays off.
Nice time save there. Mire was empty, however. So he kills Lambo now, right? I don't know.
Honestly,
I'm scared to start predict anything anymore.
In his position, I think you do.
Yeah, it looks real good, right?
You're running low on locations.
That's where he's headed. This is a Lambo play.
And I think a worst case scenario for Bonta right now is for the hook shot to not be locked by Hammer.
Oh yeah, the hook shot opens up a fair bit of stuff that will distract him from going to Catfish. And unfortunately, there's nothing he could find that would lead him to Catfish. Like
Yeah,
the only thing that might make routing in Catfish a little nicer is if he found like, I don't know, the hammer. But that's not gonna happen.
yeah. I mean, normally you want to group it together with one of two things: Graveyard Ledge or Pyramid Ledge. If you can route Zora in as well, cool, but sure. But doing Pyramid Ledge from Village of Outcasts is awful. Doing Pyramid Ledge from, the Hammer Peg south of Link's house is not so bad.
Are we hovering? Are we hovering?
Going for it.
You got it! Go, 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 go!
Oh. That's a long gap. It's tough to get over consistently. I can say that from experience. Hey, Lambo had 10 arrows.
Oh, very gross.
In an MMG seed, that's like a third of the arrows I would use to kill Lambo. So, still a net loss, but less of one.
Alright, so Bonta's choices right now are like, go up to Pendant Hera when you can't get to East Mountain. Go to Ice Palace without the hammer. Go finish Thieves without the hammer. And do like this long trek around the world to get to Catfish. Now we know which one he should do, but it's easily the worst of those options.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to the back of Thieves Town, which we know is empty with an item hanging out in the big chest. This is kind of his last opportunity to route Catfish in that isn't just 110% awful.
Yeah, he might just go straight over to Catfish after this. I mean, the other options are also pretty awful. Like, you don't want to do Pendant Thieves. You don't want to go to Ice Palace.
Oh, and I was gonna say Linlinlin gonna make the same gamble on the boss, but looks like he's actually gonna go check these other locations first.
It's funny
so
though,
losing a little bit of time here.
If he did the hover, he would have killed the boss first. Because that's the point of the hover, is to get over to the boss room.
That's true, and he was so close too.
Oh, he's going back. He's gonna go to the boss now. Okay. Nope.
No, going for a big chest.
I guess he forgot about the big chest.
Hey, and as you can see there, if you ever thought that, actually I think Linlinlin dashed, but you don't actually need boots or hookshot to do that room. You just require them to get to that room, and it's so much easier with them. You never really see anyone do it without. But if we ever get a dungeon layout, room randomizer, that'll be an important thing to know.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you need either hookshot or boots to get in the dungeon, so you always have one of them for that room, so you never see anybody just do the walk.
And on the bright side, Linlinlin did skip the
Cutscene.
The vanilla big key chest, so not going to waste that time. Does have to do Mire in the dark, though, which is significantly slower than Bonta's spooky action.
Linlinlin, making short work of it, though, got past the hard room real quick.
Now, I would say the downside here is you take more damage going through this in the dark by a wide margin. But, you've got that cape. You can kill Viddy pretty easily. Although a lot of magic getting used up here trying to hit this switch.
Gonna have to drink this potion. Ugh.
Yeah, that went off the rails a little bit. The bad thing about that dark room in particular is losing your place is real rough.
Did he not go around up to the top? I'm not sure what he was doing, actually.
I think he went for Dark Spooky, which he got on the other room. But once he missed that, he was all thrown off in terms of how to get the things taken care of. Also, nice blind fight from Bonta.
All right, this is your last opportunity, Bonta. He's leaving.
Okay, Pendant Hera or Ice Palace? We're going to Ice Palace. That's unfortunate. This is going to be a major time loss. No matter if you're in go mode or not, Ice Palace is a slow dungeon. So when you clear out everything you can get without the hammer and then have to go back later and clear out the stuff that you can get with the hammer, it adds up quite a bit. Okay, and Linlinlin finally going up Death Mountain. With that hammer, has access to both the west and the east. If he goes for the hover, he can do Hookshot Cave even if he doesn't find Hookshot. It's a good time to go up here.
I'm trying to concoct a scenario where Bonta still has a chance to make it out of this race. Maybe Hookshot on the pyramid?
I think that or an item in the Thieves Town big chest would probably help.
Well, he just.
But yeah, it's a really, really tough thing at this point for him to get a good comeback. There's not really any game-changing items left. There's the hookshot, and that's really all they need to find.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here for Linlinlin is he's just going to move from Crystal Dungeon to Crystal Dungeon, doing efficient overworld checks on the way until he finds the hookshot, and then he's in go mode. Where Bonta is going to do absolutely everything he can, and then eventually go to Catfish and find his hammer. But I don't know, so if the hookshot's not in a nice place, what's a horrible place that it might be that Bonta would check but Lin wouldn't? And Pyramid's the only one I can even imagine.
I appreciate this decision on Linlinlin's part of saying, you know what, I've already done Mire and the hard part of Pod. I'm just not going to take the time to pick up that lamp. Screw it.
Bonta hovering, Ice Palace Bomb Show.
Unfortunately, misses a couple times and decided, you know what, I need to just do this the easy way. $50, $100. Not a very exciting basement of Paradox Cave. More money, some arrows, butter. That's nice. And that's nothing.
To be fair, we don't have that much stuff left that we would be excited to see, so Paradox Cave not having it isn't too surprising.
Yeah, I mean, from a viewer standpoint, we got lots of stuff to look forward to. We got a book, we got a shovel, we got a mushroom. From a runner standpoint, they don't really have anything else.
Just give me that hook shot. Or if you're Bonta, the hammer.
Bonta trying really hard to powder the Santee Fairy, and it's just not having it.
That thing. And he grabs it instead of catching it. Oh.
And catches the bee at the same time.
The whole point was to catch the fairy.
So Bonta now getting to the end of his hammerless checks in Ice Palace. Linlinlin opening T-Rock. Gonna go check Super Bunny Cave, the first chest of Hookshot Cave. No, just going into T-Rock, saying screw those locations.
A little surprising, being one item from Go mode.
Yeah, this is, I think, a
Hookshot Cave has as many items, right?
Well, to be fair, only one item in Hookshot Cave could be the hookshot.
Oh, right. Or the hookshot.
But I think this kind of comes down to, you know your opponent is one of the top tier players in our game. You know, this is a gamble you can take that could pay off big time. It also leverages that hammer that you got. You know, maybe if your opponent, like Bonta did, misses the hammer, then you can. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, that was the worst possible layout for Bonta.
Oh, and Lin went the wrong way on the torches.
That's a lot less sad than what just happened to Bonta.
Oh, he doesn't have enough magic now.
Sad.
He has to go grab the magic pot. Yeah, so what happened on Bonta's side, guys, is the big key was in the last check, but he didn't have a small key to go with it, so he has to mirror out and re-enter and climb all the way back down to get to the big chest, which he thinks, you know, might have the hammer.
Yep, and logically that should be hookshot locked, but he's not looking for the hookshot right now. He's looking for the hammer. I like it. Red Mail just tank the rollers. They only do one heart. Who really cares? But yeah, I was kind of getting at before Bonta's unfortunate key layout. From Linlinlin's perspective, this might be a I'm playing someone really good, let me do something, you know, out of the norm that they're not going to do. And hey, I got this highest route early, I've got full logical access to clear T-Rock, let's do it.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with the T-Rock full clear. I just think probably should have done Super Bunny first.
Yeah, that's a very, very bold game.
Like after you check the first check's a hookshot cave and you check Super Bunny cave and neither of them are the hookshot, yeah, go to TR by all means.
And Bonta checking down at this big chest. What do we got? We have a small key that he really wishes he got earlier.
So now Bonta is 100% sure he's not doing well. Up to this point, there was still a chance that everything was fine. But now he's finally being forced to do things that he really, really doesn't want to do, like Pendant Tower of Hera.
Yeah, and like he might think that Linlinlin also made that gamble first, but the more locations he checks off and the more places he gets down to it's Catfish or Pyramid, the worse he's going to feel about where he's at.
He got the fairy this time.
Yay! And yet another runner neglecting the best boomerang.
Wait, where was it?
On top of Spectacle Rock.
Oh, why didn't he grab it?
I mean, to be fair, they've already got the bad boomerang, but you know.
Like the blue boom strats in GT are so much better.
And
hey!
The gamble pays off. Linlinlin is in go mode at 105.50, and I don't think Bonta can recover at this point.
Yeah, there's no chance. It's really unfortunate. You really hate to see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Linlinlin. He played a little bit more cautious, getting Catfish out of the way, alongside with Graveyard Ledge and the well, for him it was just Graveyard Ledge, and that basically set him on the path to success here. Oh no, Bonta finds the book.
Yeah, that's just more things he can do that aren't going to Catfish.
Yes, I see a question in chat about why Linlinlin would skip Mimic. The thing there is, Mimic Cave is a very slow check. The big chest in T-Rock is a very fast check. So if you go in and check the big chest and it's your go mode, congratulations, you get a leave. If you go check Mimic Cave and it's not your go mode, you're going to go to that big chest next.
Yeah, you're essentially gambling like a screen transition in order to potentially save an entire item check.
Now, Linlinlin, he's gonna check the waterfall room chest in Swamp, almost guaranteed. Looking for silvers, because they save a good chunk of time on Ganon. But that's about it.
Bonta? What'd you do, buddy? I think he was about to go to Spike Cave, and it was like, oh, right, the book.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he would get to Spike Cave and go, oh wait, the hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know what he's doing then.
Hey, look, he got that fairy in him, probably. So yeah, let's see. Okay, he's going to the Thieves Town portal. He's going to Catfish now. He's gonna find the hammer.
Bobo's tablet, man. This is Bobo's tablet.
Oh Lord, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, it might be Catfish, but I mean, you just get the book.
Yeah, and they're both pretty much equally difficult checks.
Completely disgusting. Bombos.
Yep. So yeah, he'll check this Bombos tablet, at which point he can go up north, swim back over to East Dark World, check Pyramid Ledge, and finally, as the last location in the world, find his hammer.
Yeah, this is the situation I was hoping for him to like find the hookshot on the pyramid or something. Because like if you found the hookshot on the pyramid but you didn't have the hammer yet, then you'd probably still continue on to Catfish and then find the hammer. Unfortunately, that hookshot, it was just in Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him too, once he gets that hammer, he's got Helmasaur open, he's got, Ice Palace that he can finish, get the rest of the stuff out of. He might not prioritize dipping that green pendant TR feeling behind with the hammer. But yeah, this is a case of getting Rando. The thing that we say pretty often, but isn't always abundantly clear. This is it. Bonta has played well this whole seed. He's made good choices. But there's one awful location his opponent decided to take the risk to check that he did not, and it has made literally all the difference in this seed on its own.
It's so unusual too, because especially in the early game, Bonta was playing very thoroughly, very safely, making sure not to leave anything anywhere behind. Didn't want to skip the big chest in Thieves, made sure to go to a Gina's cave first and all that jazz. But somewhere in all of this thorough routing, he didn't leave a chance to do Catfish. He did everything around the check and made it very, very difficult for him to ever decide to come back. Now, Catfish Hammer is really horrible, and I'm not going to say it's not, and that he should have just gone to Catfish or something, but I feel like he could have routed this differently to make it easier to come back here.
Yeah, and Catfish as a location in general is just a pain to route in. Even the best time to route it is still a bad time to route it. So I don't blame him for saying this is the location I'm going to risk, but unfortunately it was not the right call. So Linlinlin now entering into Ice Palace, going to get a go mode Ice Palace clear, just bomb jump, go straight to Cold Stare, and then head back to Pod, clear Helmasaur, everything else is already empty, and then we'll be headed up to GT. There it is, the hammer. Several slashes on the floor.
Literal last location.
Yep, you cannot get. And of all the things to last location, hammer is very high on the list of things you don't want to last location. So now he's going straight for Pod, gonna go clear out Helmasaur. If I had to guess, he might go to Ice Palace next, try to avoid that Death Mountain play. Hoping that, okay, I last location this, maybe my opponent wasted time on Death Mountain, I can just skip that.
trying to put myself in the mind of Bonta here. Like, how would he be imagining things right now? And when you're Bonta and you find the hammer in that situation, you know that you lost the race unless your opponent did the exact same thing you did. Like, if Lin got to skip any of the horrible checks that Bonta did looking for that hammer, then Bonta would be behind. And Lin actually got to skip all of them. So from Bonta's point of view, it's like, well, what do I think Lin would do in this situation? Because I need to do the opposite.
Yeah, the best case scenario is you both had an awful time with the seed and you're on each other's tail and you need to outdo the opponent to get to the end. The worst case scenario is exactly what actually happened. And we're about to get a Cold Stare fight with the Butter Sword. Cold Stare is it's comically easy.
Oh, with the Butter Sword, you mean? Yeah.
Yep. I mean, with Fire Rod, you just got the icing on the cake of you get range if you do mess up, but perfect kill right there and a very quick Cold Stare down.
It always amuses me on stream when I do like the butter kill like that. And people are like, oh my god, that was so fast! You must be really good at this game. It's like, no, the Butter Sword's just really overpowered. I suck at stream. The Butter Sword's just that good.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the Butter Sword as a kid, and then eventually I discovered it and I'm like, huh, this makes life a lot easier. And we're getting a nice Helmosaur fight over here on Bonta's side. Just a bunch of hammer whacks to the face. Followed by 4 Tempered Sword slashes, menus to mirror in advance. And we'll see what Helmosaur has. Hopefully not a mushroom or a shovel.
I'm a little surprised at Lin going to grab a potion. I guess, just wanted to be real safe about it. He does have to go through the Turtle Dark Room, which, might go horribly. And then when he gets to Ganon, he has to do the Silverless fight with no lamp. Still, though, you got half magic. I think you could have lived without the potion.
Yeah, I think the lamp in particular is probably a bigger driving force than anything for that. Just because you have it for safety up till then, and then if things go real south on the Ganon fight, like if you miss Torch Glitch, you're not getting through it even with half magic and Fire Rod if you make any mistakes. But if you have that potion, you can have that safety of, okay, missing Torch Glitch is going to be slow, but I'm not going to be unable to clear the fight.
So Bonta actually going up to the mountain instead of to Ice and Swamp.
It's a very reasonable play, both from a item density perspective and a I don't want to touch Ice Pals again. Please, Linlinlin, just finish before I have to go back.
Yeah, I remember this is Bonta's first trip to East Mountain, so it's not just like TR and Super Bunny Cave. He has like all of Paradox as well. Which I imagine he'll check all of the overworld before actually going into TR, but after you do all that and you don't get what you're looking for, you kind of have to go into TR.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, if you feel behind because of the Catfish thing, you just double down on the gambles on that and say, go big or go home. So if he jumped into T-Rock, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay,
well, I mean, he did Spiral Cave first, though.
Very true. And yeah, Turtle Room didn't go perfect because of Sword Beams.
Sword Beams are terrible, you guys. They're awful.
Yep, if you're playing casually, Sword Beams are like the best thing you get. You're like, oh my god, I can attack from a distance. When you're trying to go fast, they are nothing but a nuisance.
Yeah, they have this it all comes down to the basic Link to the Past rule, right? The game can't do two things at once. And with sword beams, often your slash happens at the same time that the sword beam hits, and the game overwrites your slash with the weaker sword beam.
Okay, so we're gonna be off to Ganon's tower, and yeah, we're gonna be searching for the big key. Linlinlin is gonna be feeling the pressure, but quite honestly, he's got more than enough time to check all 22 chests in GT and do so a little bit sloppily before Bonta is able to catch up.
Oh, he could die to Aga too at this point. He's not gonna, just like he's that far ahead.
And we see a bunch of numbers floating up in chat. The bot to do the thing isn't here, but you can still try to, you know, guess what number the chests will be. Also, I do want to reference one thing I saw in chat earlier, which is someone mentioned that execution is not as important in Rando as it is in NMG. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. There's a reason you see players like Bonta, like Andy, like Error, these people who have their really high execution, they always do well. And the reason for that is because if you have good enough execution, you can do more things in less time. And that means that you can make a couple mistakes on routing and still come out ahead. It's a very underrated thing by the community, I feel, in some cases, that just being able to do things well execution-wise will often save you more time than being good at routing.
I think the statement holds true, though, that it's not as important because there's other aspects to play in Rando. But, like, not as important is not the same thing as not important. I think everything you're saying is absolutely true. But there is more to the game than just execution in Rando.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like to mention that because there was a time when a lot of people were talking as if execution just didn't matter in Rando. So I've kind of got a holdover effect of feeling the need to clarify that, like, yeah, it's very important. It's not everything, but it's like 70% of being successful.
Bonta didn't go into TR. Oh no! That's really unfortunate. He's following the shovel that he got in Super Bunny Cave.
Stupid Super Bunny Cave.
Nice silver arrows and another fetch quest.
I'm taking a quick look to see if these two have scheduled a Game 3 in the event that it goes to Game 3, which is looking very likely. At least on the first 2 pages of the schedule, I don't see one, so I don't believe they've scheduled yet. And we got some flip from, you know, the quote-unquote standard route going to Stalfos room first, and then over here to the right side.
You think that's the standard route?
That's the flip from the standard route.
It's like the...
Go right first and then left.
Yeah. It's like, it's the meta right now, this Pink Magician.
Very true. And we got a hammer pegs check on Bonta's side. Obviously, nothing we really need. And right side of GT empty, so we'll be going back left.
Yeah, there are many different routes you can take through GT, and they're all equally terrible. Or awesome, however you choose to look at it.
Oh, he's going back to Thieves Town big chest. He is.
I mean, this is
his
100%
feeling behind.
It's his only out. You have to do the absolute worst possible thing, because if it's not the worst possible thing, you lost anyway.
Yeah, I'm expecting after this probably the swamp dive, just to see if maybe it's hitting in swamp. But yeah, this is the I've probably lost. Just let me do something.
And this is why you pick up the blue boomerang when you have the opportunity to win. Because these strats suck. Oh, he gets that one good.
To be fair, they're about even if you do them well. It's just the red one is a lot harder.
Oh yeah, it's much, much more difficult. And the big chest that both runners orphaned is 10 arrows.
10 very important arrows. Meanwhile, on Linlinlin's side, we approach the Rando room, miss the switch for a moment, go back for it, and find a compass, and a red rupee, and bombs, and bombs. I feel like this is going to end up being tile room. It just seems right.
I mean, it's still more likely just ice on this, right?
It is, but I can imagine that right now Linlinlin is feeling super pressured. If you hit that big key in tile room, you just feel even worse, even though you know your opponent would do it last too.
You know, honestly, if Bonta gets to GT before Lin finishes, I bet he does the tile room gamble.
I could definitely see it. It would be well within reason.
There's almost no chance that he gets there before Lin's finishing. But, like, from his point of view, from his position, yeah, that's definitely the time for a tile room gamble.
And our dear friend Bob the Anti-Fairy holding on to the big key today. So we're headed upstairs. I don't think we mentioned it, but Linlinlin did get silvers along the way, so the Ganon fight is now very, very easy. This is going to be a pretty much a cakewalk through to the end.
Oh, Bonta ran out of bombs. Oh, and they're not going to drop any bombs, are they?
He's having some trouble getting that block through there.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, it is not an easy one to do.
I guess I've never been in that situation.
I like how he took that risk throwing that bomb there, where you might mess up the bomb throw instead of just using Samaria that he already had equipped to put a block next to the switch and then put the bomb down afterwards. That is just supreme confidence in your ability to land that bomb throw.
Oh, is he gonna do a hover? He messed this up before. He got it this time, though.
Yeah, he nails it this time very quickly.
I thought he might just go for, like, no Ice Palace bomb jump. And just commit to, like, full clearing the dungeon.
Which yeah, I mean, he's only got these 2 chests left that he's gonna check anyway. We're coming out to my favorite rooms in the game, the Wizard rooms. Yay!
Just styling on those wizards.
And we find a heart container in Ice Palace. The joy that is health. And another heart container in Ice Palace. So Linlinlin through the gauntlet has a couple torches to light, and then we'll be heading up to Moldorm 2, who with Butter is going to go down very quickly. And this is how the vanilla game wanted you to do this. Red mail, butter sword, silver arrows. This is exactly what the game thought. Yeah, the players will have this when they get here.
2 quick slashes. There they are. What? No meme hover? I'm so disappointed in you, Lynn.
I got to imagine in Linlinlin's head, Bonta is literally on Ganon right now.
I know, right?
So,
just looking over at the IRC like every 5 seconds. Did he finish it? Did he finish it?
it's so hard to resist when you're in a race, especially one like this where, you know, it's an important match. For Linlinlin, the difference between remaining in the winner's bracket versus going to the loser's bracket of the group. It's so hard to resist just looking over at that Urk, like, when are they going to finish? When am I going to lose? I have to lose. I have to.
Bonta being forced to choose between Pendant Turtle Rock and Hookshotless Swamp.
And he's taking the bigger gamble.
I mean,
Again,
he sealed his fate on the last location of the hookshot the second he left the mountain.
Yeah, and like we said with the Thieves Town big chest, you know, you go for, oh, it's the bomb, the big bomb. But yeah, like with the Thieves Town big chest, it's just, you know, I need to do something big or I lose. And okay, we're gonna go with all this. T-Rock is the easy play.
It's that situation where, like, okay, so if I was good at the game, what would I do? All right, so I need to do the opposite of that.
And Linlinlin had a little bit of a rough time with phase 2 there, but got the 6 hits required to get Ganon to phase 3. So no harm done.
He was just using his health as a resource, right?
That makes sense. Pyramid Fairy rocking a heart piece and 50 rupees. Oh boy.
If you don't finish the Ganon fight with less than a single hit from death, you just weren't using your resources efficiently.
That's true, and Mrs. Torch Glitch 2 set up for that nice double. Ganon teleports, gets hit number 4 in, and that is going to do it. With that, Linlinlin takes first place with a time of 1:30:13. And mere seconds later, literally 5 seconds later, Bonta forfeits. He knew what happened.
Yeah. GG's to Lynn, keeping this best of 3 alive. They're gonna have a game 3 now. Oh, and joining us in the voice chat, our resident winner, Lynn. How you doing?
Hello.
GG's. So I imagine you know what happened.
I mean, I tuned in the stream and like he told me basically when he lost location hammer, he just ignored TR. Can't blame him. Kind of felt bad myself after finding the boots when they were available. They were a lot of skips. Like some people said, yeah, I skipped Super Bunny Cave.
It seemed a little weird to us at the time to dip into TR before just checking Super Bunny real quick.
I wouldn't call Super Bunny quick, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like compared to the entirety of Turtle Rock.
I guess. But you have to cut a few corners, especially after. I like I said, I felt bad after finding the boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to cut some corners.
And I hear Bonta's pretty good at this.
I actually wanted to go even for Paradox Cave, but I got dead rocked, so I just dropped into Paradox Cave.
And those boots, Bonta got them very early. He flippered up there like right after Mini Moldorm Cave got him. And, you know, that was like the time difference between you two for a while was those Zora checks. And he was just following you around the world while he had the boots and you didn't, slowly gaining. And then, yeah, he had done Graveyard Ledge with King's Tomb, and you did Graveyard Ledge with Catfish, and everything just went differently for both of you at that point.
You know, if you look at it from one way, not getting the boots actually saved you in this race because it made the Catfish check so much more desirable because you were able to route it in with the flipper checks. Where if you had already done the flipper checks, and it's like, okay, so I'm doing Graveyard Ledge and Catfish, and that's it.
I was about after Hype Cave. I picked up the Ice Rod, and I actually wanted to take the Whirlpool to check Catfish and Zora. I thought about it, but that bow just said, just go to bot. It's gonna be in bot anyways, as usual. Nope. At least I got my cane, so I could go into the rock after getting the hammer. So it's not that bad. But yeah, actually really excited. I consider Bonta one of the favorites for this tournament, and being able to take a round from him. I mean, sure, he had really unlucky jacks, I would say, but I don't think I played that one really bad. I actually think, aside from the pod deep without hammer, I think it was decent routing from my end.
I mean, I don't even think the pod dip without the hammer was even a bad thing. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, you didn't have to double dip pod, right? Like, we know that now. But in the moment when you're looking at the seed, yeah, going to pod is definitely the right play. It just didn't happen to have your hammer.
But yeah, going to TR, I don't think was bad. I mean, aiming for TR is the thing. I just wanted to go to TR when I went to the mountain. Like, I skipped Hera, I skipped Spiral, skipped Super Bunny, not even checking the first chest of Hookshot Cave. I just went to TR. Just what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't go back to pod. I kind of wanted to grab that green banana if I had to. When Halvazo King had an item, and when Pyramid Fairy was actually open, I actually never knew, because I never opened my map in the Dark World.
Oh, it's fun, nice, yeah.
So, yeah, there's 2 pendant in the Light World, so I just talked to Saha and hey, it's Turtle Rock, so I never opened my map in the Dark World.
No, I definitely like the TR play. It just seemed a little extra risky to not do the overworld around it first.
Kinda. I get. I wanted
to it'd feel real bad if the hookshot was Super Bunny.
Like I said, it's Bonta. You want to cut some corners.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like most people probably would have full cleared ice before going up there. But that would seem like a pretty easy corner to cut because
I don't think ice was good. I never went to the mountain, so there's a lot of items on the mountain. So I think.
Oh no, not the mountain versus TR.
Oh, TR.
Because that's what Bonta did. Bonta, when he was looking for his hookshot, he did the mountain, the same in the same order that you went there. He just didn't do TR. And then he left and went and finished off ice, and then did Pyramid Fairy, and then Dip Swamp. Just hoping it wasn't in TR.
Whew, that was.
What was I going to ask you about? Oh, the lamp. Why didn't you just grab the lamp? Come on.
I'm on fire. Why?
I know, but it's right there.
Like I said, I need to cut some corners. Okay. I already did Maya. At this point, I already did Maya. So do I need lamp? No. Let's just go.
Yeah, I agreed wholeheartedly with that decision. I did like how you double back a little bit. Should I? Nah.
Well, then you had to go buy a potion later, just in case you got screwed in the turtle room or on Ganon.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, if I wanted to go for that lamp, I would have probably hovered the gap instead of going down.
For fun? For the fun? Where was the Linlinlin 2 cover then?
Like the pressure of this game, like I usually can hover Maya. I couldn't this time. Like I feel bad about it.
You made it over halfway.
Like, and if I hovered Maya, I probably wouldn't have gone back. That's the thing.
Oh, it would have been a time save.
But yeah, like having to play against another French player doesn't feel great in the group stages. I would have preferred it was bracket stage. Bracket stage, but yeah, it always feels special, especially when I haven't met him in the French tournament last season. It's actually the first time I 1v1 against him, and it feels great. Always exciting to play against those players.
Well, I believe
they're really good.
I believe with the way they're going to do the seeding for the brackets, that it's possible that you could meet Bonta in the first round of the brackets, even though you had him in the same.
I don't know. I asked one of the admins, not gonna say who, because if a rule could be added, like I don't get why you could meet someone in the first round of the bracket.
Yeah, it's definitely very unusual for them to seed it that way. That's why in most tournaments the group seeding leads to the bracket seeding, right?
I mean, I can get if you can meet on the second round, but first round feels kind of like overwhelming. Like I don't know. I see in chat someone asking about Game 3. Game 3 is going to be tomorrow, same time. It's going to be standard.
Same time, you say?
Yeah.
Note to self, because you guys put on a good race today. Obviously Bonta had some very bad luck, but you two are both very highly skilled players, and watching you play is fun. And talking about you guys playing is also fun, so...
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna be interested to see. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward that, technically speaking, anyone beating Bonta is an upset. But, you were the number 2 seed in your group, so I don't know if it's really an upset for you. And you're now at that point where you could kick him to that lower bracket.
I was talking about this before the race started. Linlinlin not being the first seed in his group was already an upset. Like, you not being in the top 32 was already a result that we didn't expect. Because you are definitely one of the top 32 players in this game right now.
I don't think so, but I really think I should have seeded a bit higher, I think. Not in the 50s, but around the 40s, maybe. I had some...
Well, you should be ahead of me, and I'm in the top 32, so there's that.
But yeah, an upset, maybe, but I don't know. It still feels he's better than me, so... But it's Rando, so anything can happen, like this.
Well, one way or the other, I wish both of you luck. I don't know if Bonta's around hearing any of this, but I wish both of you luck tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are going to have another fun race, or at least it'll hopefully be fun for the two of you, which is really the most important part of all these tournaments to begin with. With that said, though, do you have any other thoughts, anything you'd like to add?
No, not really. I'm really looking for it tomorrow. Pressure has dropped now, but when I typed that down, I was really, really, really excited. Like, what? What did I do? How did I win? And then when I looked, it was like, okay. But still, I think I hit a pretty decent round. So, GG's to Bonta, and I'll see him tomorrow for round 3. I mean, game 3.
So I'm going to throw out as well, obviously, as mentioned just now, game 3 tomorrow, same time. Not necessarily same place, the schedule is not made that far out. But one way or the other, same time tomorrow, these two will be racing. And they also both race a lot outside of the tournament. So if you like watching these two play, give them a follow. They're fun people. They're good at the game. They're fun to watch. So, dropping a follow is one way you can see even more of that stuff.
I can't imagine it doesn't get restreamed, right? Like we there's no way we can know right now, but this is a pretty light time slot. But surely it's going to get restreamed.
Yeah, I'd say chances are high of that, but I just can't say, that nothing else will be scheduled on Speed Gaming 1, that kind of thing.
I think we can definitely say if it doesn't get restreamed, that it's only because there's something even more exciting happening on Speed Gaming.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of other things happening on Speed Gaming, there is a lot more going on today. At 12:30 here on Speed Gaming 1, we have Scary Olive versus Teto. At 2:20, we've got Jay Misher versus Yoshi on Speed Gaming 2. Again, on Speed Gaming, the original at 3:20, we got Gerdo versus Dr. Marty O. And then we skip ahead for about 4 hours till Zelda Dasan versus Aussie 101 on Speed Gaming 3. Edium versus P-Train on Speed Gaming 4. And I think that's all. Yeah, those are the two 720 matches with a restream. Then we do have a race going on ALTTP Randomizer at 8:30 p.m. That's going to be Kern versus Trank. That goes alongside a 9:20 start. This is not Yoho versus Swerve on Speed Gaming 3. And 10:20 Cadenza versus JP on Speed Gaming 4. And then rounding out the day, my group mates, Fear Agent and the Cutsman, going at it at 11:50 p.m. on Speed Gaming 3. And yeah, that's the very large amount of races being restreamed today. There are even more going on without restreams, unfortunately, that if you guys want to catch even more rando, check out the schedule, check out the runners, and you can see what they got going on outside of there. That was a lot of consecutive talk.
I know, I was waiting for you to finish. Wait, is he going to read the whole schedule? I guess he is. All right. I don't have the patience for that. I would have just said, go check out the schedule, guys. I ain't reading this. It's too much. It's too much rando.
I didn't realize there was that many when I started. I was like,
oh, we were already in this deep. We got to keep going. No, but yeah, needless to say, there is a lot of rando going on every single day, and there will be for every day moving forward. You can check out the Speed Gaming schedule. It gets updated every day with new races as they are scheduled. But I think that's it for us now for this race. Would you agree?
I think so. And thank you for commentating with me. I believe this is the first time I've commented with you. It was quite fun. I enjoyed it.
Wait, is it?
I think so.
It might be. I've commented with a lot of people. I feel like we've commed together before.
It's possible. One way or the other, it was a lot of fun. And it was a good race. It was a really silly scene. And yeah, I enjoyed it. So thank you for co-commentating, and thank you as well to our tracker, Raylan Tankier, for pressing all the buttons, lighting up all the items, making so the people at home can follow along.
Very much appreciated.
So
okay, I gotta go eat breakfast now. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just walking away. Bye, everybody.
Have a good day, everyone.